Gonna go. Call to order. How about a roll call?
Beckwith,
Here.
Caldwell,
Here.
Deal,
Here.
Parkapisi,
Here.
Katsinis,
Here.
Nimi,
Here.
Sheldon.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, flags. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Warren Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning. If you were ready for you.
Just a brief reminder, down this hallway, we have the vending area, then the washrooms and the exit sign. In case of an emergency and paramedics to call, please leave space so they can evacuate. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
Okay, first item is the consent agenda. Anyone want to remove anything from it?
I'd like to remove the minutes.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, anyone like to make a motion then?
I move we accept the consent agenda items B through E.
Second?
Also.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay,
Just a roll call for the minutes because I wasn't here.
oh, okay. Did everyone hear that? Okay,
Mhm.
sorry, I didn't get that at all. Okay,
That's fine.
so anyone want to make a motion then?
I move that we accept the minutes of the October 17th, 2016 meeting as presented.
I'll second that. Discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call on that then.
Deal,
Aye.
Parkapisi,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Abstain.
Katsinis,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, President's report on page 13. Any questions? And I have at your places a letter, if you don't know already, so this is not the letter. If you don't know already, here it is. Kathleen Lovelace has decided that she needs to drop off the Art Advisory Committee Art Advisory Group. And so I wrote her a letter to thank her for her service on the committee.
Very well written.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Andrea was my editor.
She did all of it.
Anybody else a report? George?
A couple items, actually. First, my son was very pleased to participate in the event on Saturday with the Lego Mindstorms that they had. Great. I got to see the elephant that they had all built. It was very cool.
Which son?
James, sorry. That would be
How old is he?
my 11-year-old.
Okay.
What are Lego Mindstorms?
So, there is a program that the library has been running in combination with the high school, actually, where we've had the
That scared
robotics
me.
team from the high school coming into the library to mentor tweens here.
Like, that was the one you talked about last month,
Yes.
right? That's what I thought.
The STEMBots program.
Yeah.
So they are using a Lego Mindstorms kits that they're using for this, and programming their robots to do cool things. I just thought it was really cool because they got that elephant working, and that thing was adorable. The second item was actually, I don't know if any of you are aware, but District 56 has just remodeled the library at its Viking campus, and had a chance to tour that during their board meeting last month. It is a completely different concept. They've gone with a flexible learning environment where the entire center of the space is configurable. The only books left are along the edges. So it doesn't look like a library in a traditional sense, but they've added a maker area, they've added a design lab for 3D printing. It's actually a very forward-thinking concept. Still has the look and feel of a library, but it's a new kind of library. I think it's interesting to take a look at.
Is Mrs. Stack still there?
No.
No, all the stacks are gone.
No,
The
the
librarian's-
Mrs.
Oh, I don't know.
Stacks.
No, she retired.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, the librarian's desk has been pushed all the way up to the front of the room. It's completely out of the way now. It no longer looks like a place where you go to check on folks. It looks like a place where you go to collaborate with people.
Very cool library.
I know.
Anyone else?
Went to the Veterans Affair here.
Oh, for the cards?
Yep.
Yeah. How was it?
Looked successful. And I find the little kids are more inquisitive about what a veteran is than the adults. But the adults like to listen to what's going on. So they didn't know what it was about, but it was important. So, and I thought it was a very good turnout.
Great. Anyone else?
Was that put on by our friends?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, do we have any correspondence? No? Okay. Public comment? No one has a public comment? Okay, committee reports, page 15, 16, 17, 18. Comments or questions? Okay. Exec director report.
In addition to the report that's here, you'll notice that there's a strategic plan progress report that overviews where we are at with the strategic plan. On some of the action items were not as far as I would have liked at this point. I think though after the strategic plan was adopted by the board, that was a pretty busy time at the library. We had a lot of other projects going on, so I attribute the delays on some of those items mainly to that. Also not in the report, but I want to mention it tonight because this will happen before committee of the whole. The Caldwell people from Manchester, New Hampshire, the manufacturers of the skylights, they're coming on November 29th to take out some of those misfunctioning skylights and replacing those. And what they'll do is they'll test those, I guess, over the winter, and then 2017 we'll have a plan for how to fix it permanently.
Okay.
So that will take a couple of days. They'll be here at 6 a.m. on the 29th. They will protect the floor. Kevin is making sure that they do it to his specifications, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, I think it'll be a minor disruption, nothing serious, so.
If they're coming in at 6, is the plan to be finished before you open?
It'll take 2 days.
Oh, 2 days,
Yeah,
okay.
so.
Yeah, cool.
Do you know what the tests are that they perform?
I'm not privy to the specific tests now.
Okay.
I don't know if Kevin can add insight to that, but they're the manufacturers. They have the science behind it. They have a.
Just curious.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Bob. I'm sorry. And then I might want to add into my report new notable because that did not make it onto the agenda oversight on.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
my fault.
Uh,
I texted Andrea and asked her if she had something, and she said she
Cheryl.
did.
I think we could share the blame on that one, Joe.
Okay.
So-
Do we really have
Sorry.
to spend time talking about playing? We don't need that. We can just do it.
All right. You
So
wanna,
now's the time?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if everybody remembers way back, there was all this discussion about, Acuity, what do we buy from Acuity? There used to be a board member who worked for Acuity, why do we spend this money with Acuity? It's for these common reference books that most libraries have. And as a matter of fact, last week, I needed to know a routing number for a bank, and because of that, I knew we had these books. So I always wondered what they looked like, and I needed them, so I thought I would bring them in for new and notable. So we have the information for every bank in the United States. This one happens to be A through L, and Gurnee is marked, so I will pass that around this way so that you can see. We also have the information for every single bank in the world. And this is A through I. So I think altogether there are 5 books. So I will pass the international book around this way. So, if you needed to get not an account number, but a routing number or information for any bank in the world, some bank sent you money or they didn't send you money, you could come here to the library, get the telephone number and call that bank.
Wow.
So this is what
Good to
we
know.
spend our money on.
That's cool.
That is from Acuity and
How often are these books updated?
used, updated annually,
Oh,
annually. They are hard copy,
In
but
case you want to contact the bank in Cyprus.
you can
it's
find
all
your
here.
own bank.
It
Gurney
happens,
is
though.
in
That's-
there if you have a bank in Gurney.
That one doesn't look like it's been cracked.
You can't find everything on Google.
So now everybody's, if they had a curiosity, it should be satisfied.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Good to know.
They're heavy.
Are you all done with your?
I've been
Unless there are
carrying
any
them around all day.
questions,
Yeah, no, I just got them off the
When I
shelf.
came in.
Okay, so next on to new business. First is the levy ordinance. Anyone care to make a motion on that, please? Page 35.
35.
I move the board
These are-
adopt ordinance 2016-2017-6, levy for fiscal year 2016-27.
I second it.
Any discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Deal,
aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, next is our new ordinance regulating the reimbursement for travel, the one that we worked on at the last committee of the whole, and Nancy has done her edits in the meanwhile, so can I have a motion for that?
I move that we adopt ordinance 2016-17-7, ordinance regulating reimbursement of travel, meal, and lodging expenses.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
Yeah, I got one. Could somebody read item number 6, forms, so it makes sense?
The executive director is authorized to develop such additional forms as the executive director deems helpful, consistent with this ordinance and the act. So what that means is that the ordinance that we have here does not necessarily prescribe all forms that might be required. We are authorizing the executive director to create any additional forms that may be needed to collect information pertinent to travel expenses.
So if the one appended isn't enough, or it needs to be tweaked in some way, or an additional one is necessary, Ryan, can you make another one?
That works.
Okay, anything else? Okay, I think we should have a roll call for this, don't you?
Is this including page 43?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I have another question. For auto, it's, for reimbursement, it's the mileage rate at the time of reimbursement. If it shouldn't be at the time of incurred expense?
I think what this refers to is that the IRS sets a mileage rate each year, and so it means whatever year it's in, it's that, whatever the IRS has said it will be for that year.
I think Bob is right. As I would interpret this as if somebody goes to something in December and they don't submit the reimbursement request or we don't approve it until January, then the way this reads, it would be reimbursed at the January rate.
Yeah, that's typically how it works.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But that's how it works, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. To get it within like the fiscal
It-
year,
it
if
has
you're
to,
not.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise, you have to accrue the expense in the year before, which means you have to know what it will be beforehand somehow. You don't have a crystal ball.
What a stupid rule.
It's the same
It's
the
the
year
IRS.
before though, so the rate goes up or down every year. You never know from year to
Probably
year
their
whether
own
it will go up or
stupid
down that year.
Go figure.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So you could end up losing by not getting it submitted.
For example,
There you
this
go.
year it went down $0.015 from the year before.
Because gas rates went down. Oddly enough, though, they do not change the rate for like charitable driving. That sort of thing. They're really old.
Any other questions? All right, let's have a roll call for this.
Katsinis,
Aye.
Deal,
Guess it's an aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Sheldon,
I,
Nimi,
Aye.
Parkapisi,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, so the treasurer's report is places, correct? Yeah. Would you like a minute to look at it, everyone, or?
I assume this is exactly what was sent to us.
Yes. Anybody not see it before here, before coming? Okay, so, can we have a motion for this then? Would it be accepted for filing?
I move we accept the treasurer's report of annual receipts and disbursements from July 15th through June 30th.
Second.
Discussion.
Ooh, I should say July, June
First.
30th, 2016.
What did you say?
I didn't say the, I didn't say the year.
No discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call for this too.
Parkapisi,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Deal,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Katsinis,
Aye.
Sheldon,
I,
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Do we have a notary in the room? No? Okay, so let me know when someone's around to come in and sign it.
Okay,
I can't do it tomorrow morning, but
we've
I
got
could
time.
do it Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Okay, so at committee of the whole, I'm on item D now, new business D. We discussed the fact that we really don't need a motion to approve something that we've already placed in the budget. But the consensus was that we felt that something complimentary and flowery, I believe, was what you requested. This is my first attempt at a flowery motion for this. And so if you want to give me any input later, you're welcome to do so. But in the meanwhile, can I have someone make this motion for today?
I so move. What, no, I move that the board celebrate WNPL's wonderful library staff for their service to our community, and that we acknowledge their excellent work with the staff bonuses included in the current budget prior to December 31st, 2016.
I'll second that. Discussion.
Yeah, yes. Do the volunteers get anything?
We get
Or do
salary.
they just get to volunteer till?
Yeah, we have a volunteer appreciation event, Bob, and we give the volunteers different things. I think this year we gave them, was it gift cards to? Baker Square, yeah.
maybe?
We're having a stop by for pie event this week for
Yeah.
them, and we give them a gift of it's like a little notebook that they like.
And Bob, you should have received an invitation
I haven't,
to that. It was a while back.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Because
And
we as
the last luncheon
board
was
members are
what,
vol-
in
we're
April or May?
volunteers
That was a while
too.
ago, yeah,
It comes in
Yeah.
your email.
yeah.
Came in
I
mail.
also
It's in
get
mail.
one,
Came in the
I
mail
also
copy.
get a snail mail
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
Oh,
usually.
do we?
I
Yeah.
got a hard copy.
Because, Bob, we're all volunteers here too.
Right,
No, I got mine.
And also the, I know that, I don't know if it's just for Friends volunteers that work in bookends, but no, I think it's numbers of volunteer hours. There's a recognition system, so volunteers get different pins based on the hours that they serve the library, so yeah, it's definitely very important to recognize not just staff that are volunteers as well, because there's so many volunteers and we couldn't do it without them.
They donate thousands of
Yeah.
hours. I mean, some of them,
Christy Truly alone donates.
It's a job,
yeah.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
how come
It's
we don't
amazing.
include that in the report? In somewhere here, we had the full-time, part-time
We
list.
do.
We
There's
come up to 99.
volunteer
So
hours.
There's a volunteers hours.
But in that list, we don't include the part-time.
We, in the statistics, we include the amount of hours that they have been.
Okay.
Each month.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call for this too, please.
Caldwell,
Abstain.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Deal,
Aye.
Mimi,
Aye.
Farkapisi.
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, so next is, it's that time of year again for semi-annual review of closed minutes, and so here's the form.
Thank
So
you.
sometime in the next month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, next is policy 1001 bylaws. That would be page 47.
I move that we accept policy 1001 as presented.
I'll second that. Discussion?
Just a reminder that these are only changes to section 2.06, and this is to support the ordinance that we just passed.
No discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call on this one.
Deal,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Mimi,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, and then our personnel policy, we've been working on this on and off for a couple of months, and the primary change, as you recall, is to add all the definitions from the Illinois Employees Sick Leave Act of relatives, include, so it was more inclusive of more types of relatives. So can I have a motion for this?
I move we accept personnel policy 307, sick leave benefits as presented.
I'll second.
Discussion? Can I just say that I did notice a typo in here, in the middle of the second paragraph where it says 6 months, I think that should be 6 month. A 6-month period,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
So can you maybe change your motion to approve as amended?
As amended, yep.
Hold on.
One rows down last.
Gathered for up to a 6 months period?
Third thing.
Such a deal, since it's getting changed anyway, can we change it to gathered for a period of 6 months?
Well, I think if you wanna say that, it has to be gathered for a period of up to 6 months.
Okay.
So it could be less. I'm fine with that. Anybody else notice anything? And I'm sorry, Sue, you did change your motion to
Yeah, as amended, yeah.
And I second.
Did you get the amendment, Gina?
Up to 6 months.
Okay, anyone have a strong feeling about whether this should be a roll call? I think it can just be a voice vote. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Say
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Any abstain? Thank you. Okay. Oh, resolution. Is that next?
Yeah.
Have it on your page.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking for it.
Copy.
Oh, here it is.
So you need to discuss it a little bit, Joe?
Yeah, would you?
So I made an attempt to draft a resolution that I sent to Roger Ritzman, and Roger reviewed it. The feedback I received was, Ryan, it's way too detailed. The resolution needs to be pretty simple, in my opinion, in his opinion. And what we'll do is we'll specify all the details of current terms and conditions in either I was thinking a contract, Roger said a letter that we both signed would be appropriate, and that letter would include the details, which we're still working out. I know that the wedding will be on the 18th of June, which is a Sunday. So the library will be closed, and they are obviously paying for staff that will be here. I think it's just going to be Eddie Criston. He's agreed to come in and do it. I talked to the fire department. I did not talk to Chief Riddell directly, but I did talk to Fire Inspector Steve Auden. And according to him, that 55 people capacity applies to adults as well as children. So that capacity should not be an issue as long as they're under. And they were indicating 42 to us, so that's not an issue. Yeah, they're very excited about the potential of having the wedding here if the board approves and passes this. And yeah, we're just working out the details now. So any questions at this point?
Well, one comment. Kathy is Emily's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then this needs to be from Kathy McDonald and her daughter, Emily.
Oh, good catch. Thank you, Nancy.
Okay, anyone want to make a motion about this?
I have one question on liability. Does our liability cover activities when the library is closed?
That's something to look into. That's part of the, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to do a formal contract was to basically include that kind of waiver of liability. That's why I was thinking that would be better than a letter.
Didn't we do, like the bingo and the books when the library was closed?
Yeah, but we did have special insurance for that event, as we did with Bikers for Books. So, and that was which was donated, I might add. So that's something I'll need to follow up with. And that, like I said, that we're still working out the details. So that's, tonight would just be the resolution, and the details are still being worked out.
I move that we adopt resolution 2016-2017-3, authorizing special use of the Storytime Room.
I second.
Any further discussion?
I'll simply state from my end that this is a very unusual case, and this is a family that has done a great deal for our library, and I think it's appropriate for us in this exceptional case to make an exception to our usual policies.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, let's have a roll call for this, please.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Katsinis,
Aye.
Deal,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay. Next is items that people would like for next month or for committee of the whole.
Next month, we're gonna act on the director's evaluation,
Yeah, an exec session, yeah.
but when we come out of exec session.
Yes, we will, uh-huh, yep. Anybody else? Anything for committee of the whole? Okay. All right, so time for exec session. Would someone like to make a motion about?
Do
I'm
you want
sorry.
me in or no for this one?
No, not for this one.
Okay.
Can I just bring up, are we still, so we don't lose track of it, banking issues and what was the
Yeah.
other thing that was on the, flowing down the road? Banking issues.
Well,
I might
there's capital needs assessment, there's the skylight issue, and we are working on the banking. We've met with a couple of banks, and we're
Okay.
actually trying to meet, probably this week we'll meet and get the details back.
So do we wanna keep that on an agenda somewhere, or are we
I
just?
have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have it already.
All right.
Those are already on the committee of the whole agenda, correct?
Yeah, I have that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we need a motion?
We need a motion. Mhm.
I move that the board enter into executive session 5 ILCS 120-2C1 to discuss performance of the executive director.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? say
Aye.
No, that needs to be a roll call vote.
Oh, for exec
now.
session?
To get
do
to
it so
go
seldom,
into
I totally
executive
forgot.
session, yes, ma'am.
Can
No.
we have a short break before we do executive session?
We can.
Can we vote first, though?
Yes, let's vote first.
Good.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Deal, Nimi,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Smith born in Plymouth, Massachusetts
Okay.
in 19
We're gonna get restarted, and it is
wow.
8:34.
70 years after the code.
Wow. That's amazing.
8:34, okay. And where are we now?
Did we turn the camera back on?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Public forum, have anything to say? Okay, announcements. One, should we tell them about Thursday?
No.
Should
Oh,
we?
yeah, sure, if you'd
okay.
like, yeah.
So we went to the Top Workplace thing on Thursday, and here is the program, if anyone would like to look at it. It was very interesting and fun. Mostly it was a big party at the beginning.
What number were we?
Excuse me?
What number are we?
We are.
There were 100 workplaces, and then there were like 10 they called high achievers, which would be, I suppose, like runners-up or something.
We're
Okay.
yeah, we're an
And
achiever.
we were one of those.
Right.
We were one of the top 10?
One of the
Well,
one of the 10
achievers.
runners-up.
Right. I think there are 366 organizations that apply for it. So, and you have to figure that the organizations that put in for it, they feel that they are a top workplace. So I think I'm happy with that.
So they, the guy who did the data, who did the surveys and collected all the data, counted everything, and collated it. He gets up there and he says, "Okay, who's gotten to take a vacation at company expense?" A few hands went up. And what else did he ask? Who gets to drink?
Who gets to drink at work, right?
A lot of hands.
It's required.
And what else did he ask? I can't remember.
Like who has a foosball table at work?
Yeah, foosball table and a
Yeah.
lunchroom. Okay, real kind of perks, what you would think of as perks. And he said, none of these things has anything to do with why people nominate their company to be a top workplace. And so he said these were the top things. Number 3 is, I have confidence in the leader of this company. And I understand the vision and I understand where we're headed, which, okay. And then number 2 is that I feel a sense of appreciation at work, and that the people that I work with feel like an extended family to me. That was the second thing. And number 1 was direction. I feel like where I work is going in the right direction, and we are mission driven, and I make an impact every day. So that was
Thank you,
pretty.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, board, and thanks, staff. I mean, this truly is a team effort. So.
All the representatives of each group are here.
Yeah. What do you want to add?
Nothing really. I mean, like I said, even though we weren't in the top 100 and we have been in the past, I think that, I understand since we initially got into it, the competition's only improved. So,
Yeah.
but it's good. We can set our sights higher next year and hopefully improve.
There only was one library, isn't that correct?
Yeah, Mount
in the top
Prospect.
100, and it was
Yeah.
Mount Prospect. So people
But
that work there.
I want to
Don't
say
we get the results of the survey for our library? What
they
did
keep
What did
cutting.
the staff say we needed to improve on?
We've seen very little of the data because they continue to cut back what they give you. If we want to pay thousands of dollars to put in the budget, to
We don't
more
have it. We don't have it. Forget it.
No, I mean that's the truth, though. That's the truth.
And when they get to the ceremony part, they start with the small companies. Half of the 100 are small companies. Weren't there like 52 or 54, something that were small? And they read them all off, and then there's the top 3. And the top 1 of that category, small businesses, they know ahead of time, and they've done a video on them. And so you learn about that company. And the same thing for the medium companies and the large companies. There were the fewest of those. And the top large company is one that we all know. It was Apt Appliances. Yeah. And boy, the screams went up when they announced it. I mean, people were very proud to work there. So.
Yeah, I just want to say 2 things. To that point about seeing the data, it's in the strategic plan to do a staff satisfaction survey. So we'll kind of recreate some of that survey, and so we'll be able to analyze our own data. And then it should be said, and I think I put that in when I sent this out, that the fact that I don't think it's a coincidence that there was the challenges with the board a year ago, and we didn't do so well with our surveys, and now that we have a board that really works well and is really committed to the best interests of the library, that we're back on the list. I mean, that says a lot about the work of the board. So thank you for your steady leadership and turning that ship around.
Okay, so it was fun. Lots of millennials
A lot of millennials.
drinking a lot.
And the latest fashions too. I mean, it was yeah.
It was fun. They said it was business casual, but it was really
Some people were really dressed up.
a little bit beyond that, yeah. Okay, so anybody else have any announcements? You can see our next 2 meetings on. You have anything? All right.
No,
I have a question. What does a foosball table cost?
I have no idea. Does anyone know?
Around 400 for a nice.
Really?
Yeah, they're not.
Oh, I'm surprised. I would think it would cost more than that.
They're not that expensive.
Who knew?
They just take up a lot of room, so.
yeah.
All right. Anyone want to move to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
A.